Hi, how are you doing today? Welcome, everybody. Drop a name that you want me to write for you guys. What do you want me to write for you? Rita, just doing neon name writing for you all. Let me know if you have a name that you want me to write for you. Okay, so you want me to write pride for you? All right, here you go. I hope you like it. Hi, how are you? What do you want me to write for you? That is hi. Is that hi? What you want me to write for you guys? Everybody drop a name that you want me to write for you. All right. Next name we have is Kim in the chat. How are you, Kim? All right, you got your glowing name done. Then we have is Myla in the chat. Hi, Myla. Where are you watching from? Next name we have is Emma in the chat. Here you go, Emma. Next name we have is Maya in the chat. Here you go, Maya. Next name we have is Migdad. Thank you so much. All right, here you go. Next name we have is Ruben in the chat. How are you, Ruben? Next name we have is Joshua in the chat. Here you go, Joshua. Thank you so much for liking, guys. Then we have is Jacob in the chat. Here you go, Jacob. Next we have is Freya in the chat. How are you, Freya? Next we have is Cody. All right, here you go, Cody. Then we have is Lara in the chat. Here you go, Lara. Then we have is Ophelia. Here you go, Ophelia. Everybody, please like the live and please subscribe. Inaya in the chat. How are you, dear Inaya? Then we have is Elga in the chat. Thank you, Elga, for liking and subscribing. Next subscriber we have is Zeba in the chat. Here you go, Zeba. Next subscriber, who do we have as next subscriber? Raif in the chat. Here you go, Raif. Thank you. Next subscriber we have is Hazel in the chat. How are you, dear Hazel? Next subscriber is, who is that? Josh in the chat. Here you go, Josh. Next we have is Aggie in the chat. Here you go, Aggie. Who is the next subscriber? Then we've got Matthias. Thank you for liking and subscribing. Then we have next is Harlow in the chat. How are you, dear Harlow? Next subscriber we've got is Faye in the chat. How are you, dear Faye? Next subscriber we have is Sigma in the chat. Here you go, Sigma. Next subscriber we've got Kaden. Thank you so much for subscribing, Kaden. Next subscriber is Moonwalker. Thank you so much for subscribing to me. Next subscriber we have is Olivia J. Here you go, Olivia J. Thank you for subscribing. Next subscriber we have is Evil Jax in the chat. Here you go, Evil Jax. Next subscriber we have is Cleo in the chat. How are you, Cleo? Next subscriber is James in the chat. How are you, dear James? Next subscriber is Andrew. Thank you so much for subscribing, Andrew. Next subscriber is, who is that? Lily in the chat. All right, here you go, Lily. Everybody, please drop your names in the comments, guys. Ella in the chat. How are you, Ella? Next subscriber we have is Elliot in the chat. How are you, Elliot? All right, let's get to the next line, everybody. Then we have is Oliver. Hi, Oliver. Here you go. Next subscriber we have is Charis. How are you, Charis? Next subscriber is Ethan in the chat. How are you, dear Ethan? Next subscriber, we've got Delsa in the chat. Here you go, Delsa. Next subscriber is Viona in the chat. How are you, Viona? Next we have is Imogen. Thank you so much for subscribing, Imogen. Next we have is Ashley. Thank you so much for subscribing, Ashley. Next subscriber we have is Bronak. Thank you so much for subscribing to me. Next subscriber we have is Lucy. Thank you so much for subscribing to me, Lucy. Next subscriber we've got Tallulah. Thank you so much for subscribing to me. Next subscriber is Caden. Thank you so much for subscribing to me. Next we have is Miguel. Thank you so much for subscribing to me. Then we have is Lily Jade. Thank you so much for subscribing, Lily Jade. Then we have is Coco. Thank you, dear Coco, for subscribing. Next subscriber is Rocco in the chat. Thank you so much for subscribing, Rocco. Then we have is Lacey. Thank you so much for subscribing, Lacey. Next subscriber is Nadia. Thank you so much for subscribing, Nadia. Next subscriber is Josh. Thank you so much for subscribing, Josh. All right, next subscriber we have is Indy in the chat. How are you, dear Indy? Next we have is Maisie in the chat. How are you, dear Maisie? Next subscriber we have is Hugo in the chat. Here you go, Hugo. Then we have is Noor in the chat. Thank you, dear Noor. Next subscriber is Anna in the chat. How are you, Anna? Then we have is Tour in the chat. How are you, dear Tour? Thank you, Oliver, for saying that. All right, who is the next subscriber, everybody? Lemari, thank you so much for subscribing. Max, thank you so much, Max, for subscribing. Next subscriber is Timmy. Thank you so much for subscribing, Timmy. Next subscriber is Ella. Thank you for subscribing, Ella. Next we have Bradley. Thank you so much for subscribing, Bradley. Next subscriber is BB. Here you go, baby. Next subscriber is Janelle. Thank you so much for subscribing to me. Then we have is Isabella. Thank you so much for subscribing to me, Isabella. Next subscriber is Jacob. Thank you so much for subscribing, Jacob. Next we have is Fasiha. Thank you so much for subscribing, Fasiha. Next subscriber we have is Rafa. Thank you so much, Rafa. Then we have is Taylor. Thank you so much for subscribing, Taylor. Let's get to the next page, everybody. Next subscriber is Tahlia. Thank you so much for subscribing, Tahlia. Then we have is Patrick. Thank you so much for subscribing, Patrick. Next subscriber is Bria. Thank you so much for subscribing, Bria. Next subscriber is Zainab. Thank you so much for subscribing, Zainab. Next subscriber is Lizzie. Thank you so much for subscribing, Lizzie. Next subscriber is Idris. Thank you so much for subscribing, Idris. Next subscriber is Vanjano. Thank you so much for subscribing, Vanjano. Next subscriber is Dagmar. Thank you so much for subscribing, Dagmar. Next subscriber is Saptaparna. Thank you so much for subscribing. Next subscriber is Poppy. Thank you so much for subscribing, Poppy. Next subscriber is Marva. Thank you so much for subscribing, Marva. Next subscriber is Hannah. Thank you so much for subscribing, Hannah. Next subscriber is Callie. Thank you so much for subscribing, Callie. Next subscriber is Mason. Thank you so much for subscribing, Mason. Next subscriber is Darcy. Thank you so much for subscribing, Darcy. Next subscriber is Sana. Thank you so much for subscribing, Sana. Next subscriber we have is Anva. Thank you so much for subscribing, Anva. Next subscriber is Felicia. Thank you so much for subscribing, Felicia. Next subscriber is Keisha. Thank you so much for subscribing, Keisha. Next subscriber is Rita. Thank you so much for subscribing, Rita. Next subscriber we have is Leipa. Thank you so much for subscribing, Leipa. Next subscriber is Aryan. Thank you so much for subscribing, Aryan. Next subscriber is Callie. Thank you so much for subscribing, Callie. Next subscriber is Zane. Thank you so much for subscribing, Zane. Next subscriber is Marva. Thank you so much for subscribing, Marva. Next subscriber is Ali. Thank you so much for subscribing, Ali. Next subscriber is Sam. Thank you so much for subscribing, Sam. Next subscriber is Iliad. Thank you so much for subscribing, Iliad. Next subscriber we have is Rakaya. Thank you so much for subscribing, Rakaya. Next subscriber is Xiaomi. Thank you so much for subscribing, Xiaomi. Next subscriber is Hasbullah. Thank you so much for subscribing, Hasbullah. Next subscriber is Anam. Thank you so much for subscribing, Anam. Next subscriber is Afan. Thank you so much for subscribing, Afan. Next subscriber is Kyle. Thank you so much for subscribing, Kyle. Next subscriber is Irva. Thank you so much for subscribing, Irva. Next subscriber is Ranel. Thank you so much for subscribing, Ranel. Next we have is Amy. Thank you so much for subscribing, Amy. Next subscriber is Cope. Thank you so much for subscribing, Cope. Next we have is Dua. Thank you so much for subscribing, Dua.